Hi, it's Devora from the Wise Woman Path. Hi, it's Devora from the Wise Woman Path with Soul Life with Devora. I wanted to talk to you today on the second day of 2019 about hope and enduring during times of darkness. I want to give you some tools and some tips and tell you a really inspiring story. So hang on with me today and let me share with you to hopefully brighten your day and give you a little something that you might need. So it's the new year, second day of a new year, and oftentimes people feel new opportunities, and you may feel like there's a fresh start, or you may feel like you're continuing with whatever you were doing 2 days ago, which was last year. So wherever you are in the path, I want to share this with you. So what is hope? Hope is believing that something will be different, that there's faith in something being different when things are rough. And the big question that we have as spiritual beings on a human journey living in bodies is, how do we have hope when you can't see it and when you can't feel it? And how can you tap into faith? And sometimes you can use your spirituality, you can use your big brain or your open heart, and other times, quite honestly, as someone who has been living in the world for over 50 years and has been working with hundreds of clients for the last 30 years, sometimes you cannot access it inside of yourself. And I want to give you this message, listen loud and clear. It's okay if you can't. If you are in a time of darkness and you just can't connect with the hope right at this moment, then borrow it from somewhere else, or do your best to endure with this challenge that you're having now. It is wonderful when you can connect with your own hope, and if you're someone who has a strong spiritual connection, then you might have a tool and a resource available for you there. But listen, if you cannot do it yourself, then get help from someone else. And I know for me, as someone who is a professional caregiver, as someone who's a professional nurturer and a spiritual guide, it is not always easy for me to say when I'm struggling and having a hard time. And when I do, I allow the other people around me, and I even allow my spiritual connection, my connection with God, to open and feel myself receiving, because I can't always generate it within myself. And I know with my clients, my colleagues, and my friends, none of us can do that all the time. So I wanted to share with you this inspirational story about somebody that I have had the blessing to work with for over the last 12 plus years, who went through some of the hardest times of anyone I have ever known. This is someone who got married as a teenager, endured with a very loving relationship with her husband, his addiction, mental health issues, lots of physical issues, and then ultimately his death of cancer. She was only in her early 50s at the time, and it was a rough, rough road for her to lose her husband and come into a new phase of life. But she beautifully came out of it into a place of hope and joy just in time to experience her own cancer diagnosis, and then sinking into her own unbelievably challenging dark time with addiction. And let me tell you that this is someone who needed to borrow the faith and the hope from me, because there were times that she literally had an empty tank on believing that for herself. And she has come through with some grounding through her own personal struggles to a place now where she sent me a message this morning that she just became engaged on New Year's Eve. And she came truly from the darkest, darkest time, and experiencing difficulty in her marriage as well as joy, and then tremendous loss, and then incredibly difficult times herself, to, at this point in her life, just at midlife, to finding new love and embarking upon a new marriage. So this was a person who had reached truly the end of her line very many times, and was able to simply hold on and exist, at times just borrowing the faith and the support and the hope that I had in her and a few other key people around her, and for her to tap into her own resilience and finding her own strength. So I ask you, if this right now is a hard time for you, how are you feeling about it? What is your attitude about your own struggle? What do you use to get through that when you are going through your hard time? And if this is a good time for you, are you really embracing the gratitude for that? Because I will remind you of the phrase we all know, which is, this too shall pass. Whether it's a dark time, know that the darkest time does not stay that dark. And if it's a wonderful time, let's hope you ride that wave and a lot of good remains, but it does not always stay at the very top, at the very apex of your experience. That things shift. And being able to find your own equanimity with resources available inside of you and around you really is the journey, right? This is really what we're all trying to do. And, I know for me that I feel really blessed to both give and learn from my clients. And I feel really appreciative that this client was able to share her joy with me today, because for many, many, many years, we were really going through her sorrow, her darkness, her challenge, and her difficulty, and her lack of faith and hope. And today is a day of celebration for her. So you never know when you're in this rough time what's to come. And I have a quote I think it was from an insurance ad, quite honestly, from a magazine that I cut out and have had in my refrigerator for about 20 years that says, "Isn't it reassuring to know that some of the best days of your life haven't happened yet?" And in thinking about this newly engaged client of mine, I'm remembering this quote and wanted to share it with you. So wherever you are on your journey, know that it will change. And if you're in a time of darkness, I ask you what is available to you to help you through this time. And use everything that you have. If you have your own faith, then tap into it. If you have your own strength and resilience and hope, then tap into it. And if you can't, then find whatever resources are around you. And know that your breath is available at every moment. Taking a breath and exhaling, a nice long exhale, longer than the inhale, is a wonderful way to just bring yourself into this moment, is a way to just connect with the fact that you are alive. And moving your body is a wonderful way to help yourself. And anytime that you feel like whatever your own capacity is, your own bandwidth and your own coping is not as much as you need, then know that there is always support available around you and with you. And that is certainly what I do every day on the Wise Woman Path. And I offer that to you. If you are going through a difficult time, reach out and let me know. I am available to you in a mind, body, heart, and spirit way, as a guide, as a support, as a coach, as a healer. And that is what I'm committed to do. So I want you to be able to tap into your hope, even if it is not inside of yourself, but needs to be available by somebody else. So lots and lots of love to you, wishing you blessings on a new year as it begins, and that you know that tomorrows bring new opportunities, and today has some shred of gratitude in it, even if it's just for the belief that it may shift and improve tomorrow. So sending you love and lots of guidance and spirit and blessings to you on this day and every day. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.